Apps everyone used until ads took over.
Remember when apps were actually free? Not free with an asterisk, not free for the first 3 months, just free.
I actually kind of don't remember that. I know there were some apps that were like that, but usually they were funnels to try and get people to purchase a premium version of it. I acknowledge that there were fewer ads in the past, but it's not like most people were building apps out of the goodness of their heart. I think they were doing it with a profit motive.
Back in the early 2010s, you could learn a language without watching commercials. You could listen to music without ads every 2 songs. You could play games without being interrupted constantly.
And I totally get that it's frustrating that you are interrupted by ads all the time. I don't like ads. That's why I don't use a lot of apps, and I have ad block on everything. But I also understand that it's not sustainable to expect developers and companies to just put out free apps all of the time without any way of monetizing them. Obviously, that wasn't going to continue. Language apps especially, they're hard to make. They require a lot of time and a lot of money, and to just expect them to operate as a loss is a lot to ask.
It felt like the golden age of technology. Apps were tools that worked for you. And then something shifted. Slowly at first.
Shareholder value, baby.
Then, all at once, the apps you loved started showing you ads. Then more ads. Then so many ads that using the app became miserable. Today,
that part I agree with. I have almost no gaming apps on my phone anymore because of how many ads there are. It's just unenjoyable. I would rather play something like Valorant, League of Legends, Apex Legends, etc. Something that's free to play and then supported by people who buy cosmetics.
900 million people worldwide use ad blockers. Not because they hate advertising. No. Because apps deliberately made the experience so unbearable that paying money to escape became the only option. This is a story of how America's most popular apps went from beloved tools to advertising weapons. Let's start with Duolingo, the app that promised free education for everyone. When Duolingo launched, it had a mission statement: free language education for the world. And for a while, it actually delivered. You could learn Spanish, French, German, whatever you wanted, completely free. There were ads, sure, but they were occasional, manageable. The app exploded in popularity. Millions of people used it daily. Students, professionals, retirees learning languages for travel, Duolingo became synonymous with accessible education. And then the ads started multiplying.
This is what happened with any company that goes public. Duolingo went public not too long ago. And of course, they had to start returning that shareholder value consistently quarter over quarter, more money every quarter, no matter what. And so they started shoving more and more ads into it. And actually, as a result of that, I believe their stock price has not been doing so hot. Look at this. If we look in the last year, they're down from their peak about 42%, in large part due to the fact that there's so many ads, but it also has to do with the fact that they announced that they were going to be AI first, and a lot of their lessons were going to be made by AI people instead of humans. That did a bit of a number on them as well.
2022, Duolingo introduced something brutal: an ad after every single lesson. Not every few lessons, every single lesson. A-Class Central Investigation did the math. The complete French course has 1,206 lessons. That means 1,206 ads, each lasting 5 to 30 seconds. The total? Up to 10 hours of watching advertisements to complete a 46-hour course. Yikes. Think about that.
That's basically daytime television numbers right there, where you get every 20 minutes of show, you get 10 minutes of advertisements. We're basically there with Duolingo.
You're trying to learn a language and they're forcing you to watch 10 hours of ads. That's increasing the course length by 22% purely for monetization.
This is one of the few places where I think I might disagree with this video. They're not forcing you to watch the ads because you don't have to use the app. You can also pay to have the ads go away. It's not like there's a gun at your head saying you have to watch these advertisements. It's like the same with YouTube. I ad block it because I'm not interested. Or Netflix. I pay for the ad-free version because that's what's important to me. You're not forced to do it, but I do see where he's coming from in how frustrating it is that if you want to use Duolingo and not pay, you have to have ads.
Reddit threads exploded with users asking, "Am I the only one getting a super Duolingo ad after each lesson?" Hundreds responded that they'd memorized the ad copy word for word from seeing it so many times. Many admitted they finally caved and subscribed just to make the interruptions stop, which was exactly Duolingo's strategy. But it gets worse. Duolingo started paywalling educational features that had been free.
This I can understand being mad about. They pitched free education, and the only thing you have to do is watch ads to support the company that's giving you the education. Totally get it. You might not like ads, but it's a fair transaction. But then they start putting parts of that education and the experience and your ability to learn more optimally behind paywalls specifically. That I can understand getting upset about, because now that like goes against the core mission that Duolingo said that they were out to do in the first place. It's not about education now. It's about getting paid to be able to access good education, or you can have mediocre education with ads. Like fundamentally what the company stands for is now different. So I understand being mad about that.
Explain My Answer feature, which showed grammar rules and explained your mistakes, became premium only. One user protested, explaining why you are wrong and being able to look at grammar rules seems like a fundamental thing to learning a new language. But Duolingo didn't care. If you wanted to actually understand your mistakes, you had to pay. At almost $13 a month or $84 a year, Super Duolingo positioned itself as educational ransom. Pay to actually learn, or suffer through enough advertising to negate any educational benefit. The gamification that once made Duolingo engaging, streak counters, leaderboards, achievement systems, became psychological leverage for monetization. Users reported deleting the app mid-streak despite significant time investment, unable to tolerate the advertising assault any longer.
I just thought of this, but there's another education app called Mango. And this one, Mango Languages, you link to it through your library, your local library, and it's free without ads. This is what I use. There's no ads, and it's paid for by your taxes that go to your local library. So you can absolutely use alternatives. It's not as pretty as Duolingo because there's not a for-profit motive, but it absolutely works, and I love it.
Duolingo's mission statement promised free and fun education. Users suggested changing it to pay or ads. The app that was supposed to democratize education became just another subscription service holding your learning hostage. Next up, Spotify, the app that promised to give you all the music you wanted. Spotify launched in the United States in July 2011 with a simple deal. 6 months free with ads, then ads every 4 to 7 songs after your trial expired. For most people, that felt reasonable. You could listen to music with occasional interruptions. But by the 2020s, something changed. Users now report ads every 2 songs, and not just one ad, 3 to 6 consecutive 30-second ads playing back to back. You finish a song, and suddenly you're listening to 90 seconds of commercials before the next track starts. One user posted, "Within the last few months, I've been getting more ads than songs. Every 2 songs, I get almost always 3 ads." Another described hearing the same ad about 50 times in an 8-hour workday. The same commercial 50 times in one day. Spotify introduced a feature where you could watch a video ad for 30 minutes of ad-free listening, except it frequently doesn't work. Users watch the video ad, and 2 songs later, more ads appear anyway. And then there's a volume manipulation. Spotify plays ads significantly louder than music. You're listening to a chill playlist at comfortable volume, and suddenly an ad screams at you, jarring you into attention. They also ignore the dislike button. Users report marking ads as irrelevant dozens of times and still seeing the exact same commercials over and over. The system isn't designed to improve your experience, it's designed to break you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing, is they give you something that you want, and then they dangle the carrot in front of you, wanting you to pay for premium. I will say I do pay for Spotify Premium, but if I didn't have the money, I would just go back to the high seas, I think. It is not worth the amount of advertisements that you have to deal with. I would buy a cheap MP3 player, rip everything I wanted off the internet, and stuff it on there. I just would not deal with these services at all.
Here's why. Spotify generates 90% of revenue from premium subscriptions. They use ads primarily as psychological pressure to convert free users. 80% of premium subscribers started as frustrated free users who couldn't take it anymore. As one user put it, it's like they are pushing subscriptions by adding more and more ads. That's not paranoia, that's literally the business model. Make free so miserable that $11 a month feels like a relief. Spotify doesn't want you to enjoy the free tier, they want you desperate enough to pay. Okay.
I mean, that's kind of what every company wants that has a subscription service and a free tier. They want the free tier to be good enough that you know what you're missing, but not so good that you want to not pay for the premium tier. They give you a little bit, then they dangle in front of you for $11.99 a month.
To another one. Picture this. You're playing a game on your phone. You fail a level. Ad. You want to continue? Watch an ad. You enter the main menu. 4 pop-ups selling you coins, lives, power-ups, whatever. You close those. Banner ad at the bottom covering the gameplay. You play for 2 minutes. Forced 30-second video ad you can't skip. This is mobile gaming in 2025, and it's making developers $9 million a month. But it wasn't always like this. Go back to December 2009. Angry Birds cost 99 cents.
I believe the most profitable games in the world right now are all mobile games, just because the insane amount of money people are willing to fork over for mobile gaming. A large part of that is because it's more accessible in regions of the world like Southeast Asia, which have a huge amount of people, but a much fewer amount of computers, so they don't get on and play Fortnite or League of Legends or what have you, but they all have access to smartphones, and so they will play mobile gaming instead. This is a bit of an old article, but Candy Crush Saga hits $20 billion in revenue milestone. Maker King, who's the app developer, says it's that kind of thing. It's so easy, so accessible, and it's just a couple of bucks for a power up or an ad-free experience or etc, 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 and so people pay for it.
You pay once, you get 390 levels, no ads, no in-app purchases, no energy systems forcing you to wait, just a complete game you own forever.
Didn't they start removing old versions of Angry Birds so that people would be forced to pay for the new ones that have like more microtransactions and advertisements? Let me fact check myself on that. Yeah, old Angry Birds games, including the original title, were deleted from app stores because the developer, Ravio, wanted to focus on newer, more profitable game modes with microtransactions. Some were removed because they were built on older technology that was difficult to update. Yeah, sure it was. No, it was definitely because they want to have games that they can easily build for profitability from the ground up. It's not about the game, it's about the money.
That model made Angry Birds one of the most successful mobile games in history. Hundreds of millions in revenue from people who happily paid $1 for a good game. Then someone did the math. Free games with ads and microtransactions make 300 times more money than paid games. 300 times. So in 2013, they retrofitted the original Angry Birds, the game you'd paid for. Now it has ads and microtransactions. Then Angry Birds 2 launched in 2015.
Wait, they retrofitted the paid game with advertisements? That is crazy. That should be illegal. If you pay for something and then it has advertisements when the original version did not have advertisements, that I do not stand for.
As a blueprint for misery. Live system. Wait 30 minutes or watch ads. Video ads after every failed attempt, banner ads during gameplay blocking where your birds fly, pop-ups every time you open the menu, etc, etc, etc.
I didn't play past the first Angry Birds. Is this really how it was? If you want to get rid of this, just download an operating system called Graphene OS, where you can block specific apps from connecting to the internet, and that gets rid of your advertisements.
And here's where it gets truly insane. In 2019, Rovio deleted every original paid Angry Birds game from the app stores. The games people had bought just vanished. Gone. Fans revolted. The hashtag #BringBack2012 trended globally. Rovio responded by briefly offering a paid remake, then deleted that too in 2023. The paid version made $30,000 a month. The ad-filled version made $9 million. So
and it's like, I totally get how much this sucks for users, but imagine you own the company and they're like, hey, we've got a company, we've got 100 employees, we make games, we have 2 options, one that makes $30,000 a month and people love it because it's, you know, pay $1 forever, or another that makes $9 million a month. Almost everyone is going to choose the $9 million a month. I'm not saying that's right or moral. I'm just saying I get that. If I was in charge of the company and I was offered, you know, 2 pills, the $30,000 a month pill or the $9 million a month pill, I would probably go with the $9 million. Like, it's a lot of money. I would just go with that.
Eliminated choice entirely. Everyone gets funneled into the ad hellscape. Words with friends. Full screen ad after every single turn.
I deleted Words with Friends because of the advertisements. I got so sick of them. Nope.
Subway Surfers ads after every other game. Royal Match, 75-second unskippable ads so common they became the most hated advertisement on the internet. And downloading Royal Match to make the ads stop doesn't work. The ads for Royal Match keep appearing in other games anyway. But the ads themselves became the real scam. Those pin-pulling puzzle games you see everywhere, the gameplay doesn't exist. Homescapes and Gardenscapes got banned in the UK for false advertising. The puzzles in their ads represented less than 1% of actual gameplay. You download expecting one game, you get a completely different match 3 requiring hours of grinding to reach anything resembling the ad. A 2024 report found 56% of mobile gamers encountered ads that completely lied about gameplay.
I mean, it has to be higher than that. 56%, that's it? No, if you're a mobile gamer, 90% chance you've come across one of these.
Over half of apps get uninstalled within 30 days because users feel deceived. Mobile gaming went from pay once, own forever, to free download, endless punishment. Duolingo forced you through 10 hours of ads to learn a language. Spotify interrupted your music every 2 songs. Mobile games turned every tap into a potential advertisement. The apps had pushed too far, and users were about to push back. Because here's what happened next. People stopped accepting it. By 2023, 912 million people globally had installed ad-blocking software. That's a 21 times increase since 2012.
Except that doesn't block mobile games, right? Ad blocking software only affects desktop. Like, I have ad blocked essentially everything in my life, but even I have ads on my phone. If I watch YouTube on my phone, there's not really a way to avoid that because YouTube Advanced and all side-loading apps got removed. Reddit, when I scroll that, I still have ads. Twitter, if I scroll that because I'm super bored and hate myself, that also has ads. Getting rid of ads on mobile is a lot harder than getting rid of ads on desktop.
In the United States, 32% of all Americans now block ads. This isn't just tech-savvy millennials. Baby boomers block ads at 32%, actually higher than Gen Z's 27%. This is the largest coordinated consumer resistance movement in internet history.
With the issue being that as people block ads, the companies are like, oh no, we're losing ad revenue. We have to force more ads. So you force more ads, making the experience for people that haven't blocked ads even worse. And so then those people block ads and you force even more ads. It's just like this endless cycle of blocking the ads, which causes people who actually watch the ads are now like, well, there's too many now, so I'm going to block the ads. And then it keeps going, it keeps going. It's like, it's eating itself. It's why I don't watch Twitch. There's so many advertisements on Twitch. I get on, click on a stream because I'm curious, and it'll be like 2.5 minutes of ads before I can even see what the stream is. I don't even know if I care about the stream yet. 9 times out of 10, when I click on a stream, I don't know who it is. So I'm not going to sit around and watch 2.5 minutes of ads for a streamer that I don't even know if I like. I'm just going to leave. And so I do. It's why I don't watch Twitch anymore. I've been actively driven away from the site because of it. If there were fewer ads, I would actually probably stick around and end up watching more ads total. But now I never watch any ads because I'm never on the website.
And the reasons are damning. 63% cite too many ads. 53% say ads get in the way of content. Another 44% want to avoid tracking. The message is clear. Platforms crossed the line. The economic impact is staggering. Publishers lost $47 to $54 billion in ad revenue in 2023 alone. That's 8% of total digital ad spending. Just gone. Users aren't complaining, they're actively sabotaging the business model. Trust in advertising collapsed to 37% in 20.
I don't like the word sabotage because I feel like sabotaging implies that we have some obligation to watch the ads. They just got so bad that we're simply choosing to no longer participate in that. That's not sabotaging because that's like an active thing that I'm doing to harm someone. I'm not trying to harm anyone. I just don't like ads. So I choose no longer to see them because of how invasive they are and how pervasive they are and how often they are scams. So I just don't interact with them. That's it. I made my choice. I'm not attacking anyone. I don't care if you watch ads. I'm just saying for me, I hate them and so I won't do it.
2024, last place among all industries, below banking, below energy companies. When 70% of people report seeing the same ads repeatedly and only 11% actually enjoy advertising, the system has fundamentally failed. YouTube launched an aggressive anti-ad blocker campaign, threatening to limit viewers to 3 videos. It backfired spectacularly. Ad blocker searches spiked 336%. Users discovered workarounds within hours, using Brave browser, Firefox with uBlock Origin, playing multiple videos and switching tabs. As one site put it, YouTube might be powered by money, but ad blocking developers are powered by spite.
It's why I use Brave browser now. It's the only browser that consistently is able to block YouTube ads. Once, maybe every 2 months, I'll get an advertisement on YouTube, and then that same day or a couple of days later, Brave will update and I will no longer get the advertisements. It is a wonderful, wonderful ecosystem to be a part of. Highly recommend you check it out.
Reddit's 2023 API crisis showed organized user anger. When Reddit killed third-party apps to force users into their ad-filled official app, communities revolted. Major subreddits went dark for 48 hours. Millions of users participated. But here's the problem. Most people can't actually leave. Spotify has your playlists, Duolingo has your streak, mobile games have your progress. These platforms built monopolies through habit and...
I would actually disagree with this. You can leave. You can simply choose to leave. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's a Spotify playlist. You can make more Spotify playlists. There's probably a way to import those playlists if you try really hard. Your mobile game has your progress. Okay, it's a mobile game. Like, it doesn't matter. They're saying these companies built monopolies, but not really, because Netflix is a competitor to Fortnite. They said so themselves because it's just what you spend your spare time doing. Are you watching Netflix or are you playing video games? So I'm not convinced of this particular part of it, because you can choose what you do and you can choose to do things that don't involve advertisements.
Investment, then exploited that lock-in to make experiences miserable. They're betting that most people will either tolerate the ads or eventually pay to escape.
And that bet so far has actually proved to be correct, because Spotify is making more money than ever. I think they were recently profitable, or were profitable like one quarter recently, something like that.
And so far, they've been mostly right.
Yeah, exactly.
The apps didn't die. They just became platforms that users hate but can't quit.
No, not can't quit. Choose not to quit. This is again where, like, I hate ads. I will ad block everything, but you're not being forced to play Angry Birds. You're not being forced to listen to Spotify. If you want games, then download something that blocks those games from being able to access the internet so you don't have ads. It works. You probably need an Android to do it. If you don't want to pay for Netflix, sail the high seas, brother. You can find everything in HD for free for no advertisements. If you want your music, rip it off YouTube, youtube-mp3.org or whatever the website is where you download the songs. Like, users can choose to have the exact same things that they have right now, but without advertisements. It's just a little bit of work, and so most people choose not to. It's not can't, it is a won't.
I won't keep you any longer. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. And just a reminder that I have a similar video about apps that nobody uses anymore because they became paid.
That was a good video. Apps everyone used to use until ads took over, and I think I, for the most part, agree with it. A lot of mobile games I simply don't play anymore because there are too many ads and I'm not interested in paying or going through the trouble of blocking them. And so I choose to do something else with my time, and that's usually gaming or watching YouTube on the Brave browser, so that everything's ad blocked anyway. Thanks for watching.